Hello and thanks for joining us on this Wednesday. I'm Jurnee Taylor and these are some of the headlines we're following now at noon. Thousands of flights were delayed or canceled after an outage at the FAA this morning. In less than 1 minute, the impact on passengers nationwide and questions about how it happened. Less than 24 hours ago, Sarah Huckabee Sanders was sworn in as the 47th governor of Arkansas, going straight to work within hours of the oath, signing 7 executive orders. Today, reactions from the Democratic Party. Plus, it was a big night for Hollywood with the return of the Golden Globes. More on the big winners in entertainment news just ahead. But of course, we first would like to get a look at weather with meteorologist Nathan Scott. We're seeing quite a warm-up to be in the middle of January.
Good afternoon, Jurnee. I've got spring fever. I'm ready to take off this jacket and roll up my sleeves because look at these numbers right now. Already into the upper 60s, 70 in the capital city. We start off the day with low clouds, but those clouds are clearing out, and that sunshine is going to help us warm up very quickly. In fact, we will be challenging some record highs. The record at Little Rock Airport is 77, both for 1911, but also more recently, 1995. That's 75. It's going to be close, and there's going to be some other records certainly in jeopardy, maybe DeQueen and also potentially even Fayetteville. But this does not stick around. This is going to be the only day you're going to be able to enjoy temperatures like this because cold front arrives tonight and the temperatures get knocked down on our Thursday. It'll be much cooler and windy. Highs probably happening right around sunrise, and temperatures will continue to fall throughout the day. Now, as the cold front makes its way into this type of warm air mass, we do have a small potential. There could be 1 or 2 strong, possibly severe thunderstorms, primarily to the northeast of Little Rock. More on that potential and how much colder will we get coming up.
Thanks, Nathan. Well, now to a story that has the nation talking. The FAA has lifted the ground stop that is responsible for major delays at U.S. airports nationwide today. The agency says flights are resuming gradually. It follows an overnight outage of a computer system that provides safety information to flight crews. Michael George reports.
The dreaded delayed sign greeted travelers as they arrived at airports across the country Wednesday morning after the FAA ordered all departing flights grounded for several hours following an outage of one of its computer systems.
This morning when we woke up, we heard the news, so we thought we're just going to rent a car and not fly.
The agency says the problem was an outage to its Notice to Air Mission System, or NOTAMs. It provides safety information to pilots. President Biden says he was briefed on the situation by Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg.
I just spoke with Buttigieg. They don't know what the cause is.
President responded, "We don't know," when asked about the possibility of a cyber attack, though the White House earlier said there's no evidence of a cyber attack. While the ground stop has been lifted, there's still a ripple effect that could last throughout the day as things slowly return to normal. Thousands of flights have been delayed and hundreds canceled.
We're going to be optimistic, but, you know, hopefully they get everything up and running.
We've been delayed 3 times.
Tamara Williams is trying to get to Miami for a connecting flight to Costa Rica.
There are no more flights leaving today that would get us there on time, nor tomorrow, nor Friday.
This is the latest headache for U.S. travelers following flight cancellations over the holidays because of winter storms and a massive Southwest Airlines service disruption. Michael George, CBS News, LaGuardia Airport, New York.
Now, just last Monday, the FAA had a computer glitch that forced it to limit traffic in the Florida airspace. Today, defense attorneys will be making their opening statements for Richard Barnett. The case is being heard in a Washington, D.C. federal court. One of the videos the Justice Department showed during the opening statements showed Barnett talking about fighting. Prosecutors said Barnett shouted, quote, "We took back our house and I took Nancy Pelosi's office," end quote. Jordan Fisher from our affiliate station in D.C. is following the trial.
Well, I think the prosecution is going to try to suggest to the jury throughout that this is sort of a through line for him, that he came to D.C. not to, as he said, peacefully protest, but rather with this idea of fighting already in his head.
The defense gives their first statement. The trial will move on to evidence and witnesses. Now back here at home, Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders begins her first full day in office today. Moments after taking the oath yesterday, she took a few moments to talk about her family, the new first gentleman and her 3 kids. Governor Sanders ending her speech with, quote, "Let's roll up our sleeves and get to work." And she did just that. Sanders signed 7 executive orders within an hour of the ceremony ending. Those executive orders include limiting government with putting hiring freezes on the state. TikTok is now banned from all government devices. The word Latinx will be removed from state documents, and she is also prohibiting critical race theory in schools. This comes as she sticks with her platform that education is her priority.
Education is the key that opens the door to a lifetime of opportunity. We cannot allow a child's destiny to be determined by their zip code or the size of their parents' bank account. We know that students of every background can succeed if given a fair chance, a strong start, and a helping hand.
Sanders is expected to sign another executive order today. We'll have more on that tonight at 5 and 6. Now, following the historic inauguration, Arkansas Democrats met this morning at the Capitol. State representatives and state senators responding to Governor Sarah Sanders' opening remarks. Legislators also broke down their goals for the 2023 legislative session. Minority Leader Tippa McCullough and Senator Greg Leading mentioned today they plan on working with their Republican colleagues to bring about the best future for Arkansans. Just like Governor Sarah Sanders, McCullough and Leading say that starts with education. However, Democrats disagree with how the governor says she will approach reforming education, as well as some of her executive orders.
And we can't support our teachers if we alienate and insult them with headline-grabbing executive orders. Our teachers are committed to educating our children, and Democrats will always stand with them. The governor said she's ready to raise teacher pay, and we're ready to help. This should be done independently of educational reforms because our teachers cannot wait any longer.
McCullough and Leading continued saying Democrats are ready to work with their Republican colleagues on these issues and more in this legislative session. Documents marked classified discovered at President Biden's former office are drawing criticism and comparisons to the docudrama at President Trump's Florida residence. While the volume and circumstances are different, Republican lawmakers are demanding the same scrutiny. As Nicole D'Antonio reports, we finally heard from President Biden on the matter.
People know I take classified documents and classified information seriously.
President Biden responded Tuesday to the discovery of documents marked classified at his former office in Washington, D.C.
I was briefed about this discovery and surprised to learn that there were any government records that were taken there to that office.
CBS News has learned the president was informed on November 2nd, the day of the discovery at the Penn Biden Center in Washington. Another source says the documents from the time of his vice presidency had varying levels of classification markings, including some highly classified.
They've turned over the boxes to the archives, and we're cooperating fully with the review.
Republican lawmakers balked at the discovery.
The irony, you couldn't write a book about this, right?
And a House committee has launched its own probe, asking the White House for all documents from the personal office and a list of who had access to the space.
And this is why we'll get to the bottom of it, because they treat people differently.
The discovery is drawing comparisons to the investigation into former President Donald Trump's handling of classified documents after he left the White House.
In that case, more than 300 documents were seized from Mar-a-Lago after Trump refused multiple requests to hand them over. Democrats say that's not what happened here.
What President Biden did was disclose this to the archives, let law enforcement know. That is exactly the way that you should handle this.
A source tells CBS News the Justice Department's review is largely done. Nicole D'Antonio, CBS News, the White House.
Now, Republicans are also asking top intelligence officials for a damage assessment. And at the start of the new year, many people make health-focused resolutions with good intentions to follow through. And tonight on THV 11 News at 6, we're bringing you our monthly Buddy Check 11 Breast Cancer Awareness Report. We're speaking with the director of the UAMS Winthrop P. Rockefeller Cancer Institute Breast Center. She'll share an easy question that can start you on a path to better breast health. Now, strong storms knocked out power and caused major flooding across California. Coming up, what officials are doing to help and why recovery efforts are far from over. But first, we have a look at weather here at home. Nathan, I mean, it feels like California, I guess.
It does. Unseasonably warm conditions pumping their way in here from the south, but that's going to set the stage up for potential. There could be 1 or 2 strong storms out there tonight as a cold front makes its way through, knocking the numbers down on Thursday. I'll have more details on your forecast next.